You gonna play this song?
No.
They're the liberal rednecks. They like cornbread and butt sex. They care way too much but don't give a fuck. They're the liberal rednecks that makes some people upset, but they got 3 big old dicks that you can suck.
Horse internet, but her horse internet is better than my non-horse internet.
Well,
so
maybe you need to go back to the horse internet.
I can't make heads. What I think it is that it hits for everyone but me. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Like I just think, it sort of makes me believe in God a little bit.
Right.
Like I feel like
and
I'm
that you don't hit
silenced.
for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
think that all the time. I be thinking that. Yeah.
Yeah, because me and you, like, we constantly have problems with the things that we're doing. It's like we're doing it the way everybody else did it. And it's like, yeah, but they hit for God and you don't hit for God. And so therefore it don't work.
I mean, to be fair, like me and you both do stay going in on him and stuff. It's not like it's unprovoked on the part of the Lord. We be starting shit with him all the time and stay getting smoted. So,
No, that's the reason I think I believe in him. Because, like, if there were a God, I would not blame him for going in on me. Because
if I was God, I wouldn't hit for me neither. There's no way.
Right. Now, I would like to think if I was God, I would like make the earth hit and no one would have any reason to say I don't hit. I'd just make it to where things hit if I was God,
Yeah, but that ain't the way of the Lord. You know what I mean? You got to be mysterious if you're going to be a God. I don't know why. I don't know why they can't just, keep things, put things on Front Street, so to speak. I don't know why the Lord can't just speak with clarity about something. Like, who decided they got to be mysterious?
That's the one line in the Bible that makes me the most mad, because if that line didn't exist, there would be so many better arguments to be had. But that one line, the Lord works in mysterious ways, is the ultimate, what are you going to do, of all time.
I guess their position on that would be that, like, that don't mean that he is choosing to be mysterious. It means that the choices he makes are beyond our capacity to understand, which makes him mysterious.
Right. But it's like,
it's not him being like Rick Rubin. God's not like Rick Rubin, where he's like, he's like, I cultivate a certain mystique that is a part of my persona, and obviously Rick Rubin hits for me. I'm just saying he's got a whole like fucking,
he's mysterious
Fingali thing going on that he absolutely leans into.
Yeah, matter of fact, like every time I see Rick Rubin, he's like sitting Indian style on a couch, wearing some like just regular shorts and like a gray t-shirt. And I always think like, he seems like he'd be a Komodo man. You know what I mean? But he's
absolutely not. Wait, he's not? He don't wear kimonos?
No, I've never seen him in one. You'd think that he'd be in one all the time, but I've never seen him in one. Drew, you think Rick Rubin's a Komodo man?
Oh, yeah.
I thought kimono.
X, though, right?
Kimono, I think about the dragon.
Okay.
Wait, right. There's another kimono?
He said Komodo. Right. He was thinking about turtlets.
Oh, honestly, I was like, just kimonos are Asian and so are dragons. So I was like, wait, what's the non-dragon kimono? I think he would have a Komodo dragon, and I think he would wear a kimono. But I could also see him in like slovenly ball shorts. I was just talking about Rick Rubin. Maybe that's what y'all are getting at. Everything he says sounds so stupid. I mean, it sounds certifiably rock dumb. Sometimes I think he's doing a bit.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I think that if you can just pull off mystique enough.
That's how we got into even talking about him in the first one. We're actually talking about the Lord and how the Lord works in mysterious ways. And I was like, why is the fucking Lord got to be like Rick Rubin, have to cultivate a mystique? And then,
I guess it's like a weird climate to say that. Like, I think there was a time where people would be like, oh, that's cool. Drew thinks Jews are cool and magical. And now it sounds like I'm accusing them of something.
Yeah.
Rick, I want to hear some examples of dumb things that Rick Rubin has said that don't hit for you. Yeah, I'm not disagreeing because I also want to know, he like claim obviously he's the most, I would say the most successful music producer of all time and most eclectic and varied with the array of artists he's worked with and stuff.
Well, what about
Everybody from the Beastie
what about
Boys to like resurrecting Johnny Cash's career and all kinds of shit, all the metal, rap, everything in between. But he says that he don't even know how to play any instruments or nothing. He says that he claims to just sit in the studio and go like, that don't hit. You know what might hit is like if you did a little or whatever right there. Maybe I don't know what that even is, but you know what I mean. Make something that sounds like that. See if that hits. All right, that hits. Now you got something. It's like he says that's all he does. He just knows what hits. That's his whole job. And it's like I don't know.
And furthermore than that, he said that it's not that he knows what hits for other people. He says he knows what hits for himself. And it turns out things that hit for him often translate to hitting for a lot of people.
Yeah, I had the opposite of that, I think.
Me too.
Okay. A few things. I think Rick Rubin's definitely on the Rushmore, but I think you could do probably Quincy Jones, Dr. Dre. And then I looked it up. I had those on my own. He's in this list, and then they add Linda Perry, and there's a guy named Max Martin who's supposedly everyone the most successful.
Yeah, but Max Martin, I thought that he was like writing those like boy band and huge pop songs and stuff, like co-writing them and shit from Sweden.
And
like
he hit them, I guess.
Yeah,
Quincy Jones co-wrote some of Thriller, I think.
And I mean, right. Pharrell's sort of in that league of like he produces, but he also be like contributing.
Yeah, I think the Clips record and another, maybe one more, and Pharrell's there. But you split Pharrell into when he was with any art. Anyway, it doesn't matter. What I wanted to say, I don't have a specific thing. I mean, all right. There's a thing DJ sent me this morning, but it's like an hour long. So it's not even like I could pull it up and then find a good one. It's just that it's all esoteric nonsense.
Right.
And again, I'm not trying to suggest that there's no talent there. It's just that there's nothing you can do with it. It sounds like David Lynch. Here's the difference. Lynch made the movie. It's like, imagine if David Lynch said all the stuff he said, but he just sat there with the director. Yeah. You'd be like, what the fuck is this guy on about?
Maybe he's like a muse for people who hit, you know.
That's such a funny thing because a muse, at least in our culture, is often known as like a hot woman to inspire you. It's just so funny to think of this like stinky Buddha looking dude.
Yeah, but
I mean, that type of thing is, you know, it is real. I mean, my sister, for instance, I always feel like every time I hang out with her, I'm way funnier for like the next 3 hours and I generate a lot of crazy stuff. Even if it's not something that she said, like just being around her, I sort of am like, I don't know, I can't explain it. But like with Rick Rubin, it's like there's like if he had a master class of like, here's how you be like me. I don't even know what the fuck he would say. Like David Lynch at least would be like, here's the camera lens I use and this is the but like Rick Rubin would be like, here's what you do. You sit there and
cross-legged on the floor.
Cross-legged and you just it give thumbs down or thumbs up.
Wear sunglasses and nod slowly or shake your head slowly every now and then. Yeah, I know. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I don't really get, but I mean, it's like, but so did he like, when he did those American 4 with Johnny Cash and all that, which, you know, legendary, like, did he bring those songs to him? Was he the one who was like, hey, I don't know if you ever heard of 9 Inch Nails, but they have this song called Hurt.
As far as I know, that was his idea.
He did do that.
And you should do that. Because, you know, I mean, that's a thing. Yeah, right.
But like,
what he said.
But then what?
Don't
like,
you
then
think
when they're doing it.
All these shitty, good and shitty, we'll say it that way, execs we've met with in our brief and not that illustrious writing careers were like, what if you did this? And sometimes it'd be like, oh, shit, yeah. And sometimes it'd be like, what the fuck? And we wouldn't do it in front of them. We'd get back somewhere else and be like, what the fuck was he talking about? Point being, like, it's not that that's not worth something, but that's not anything artistic.
Right. Well, I heard Rubin talking about the Johnny Cash thing specifically, and one of the things he did say that, like, yeah, the 9 Inch Nails introduction was like his thing, but he said that in his opinion, his greatest contribution to the Johnny Cash project was making Johnny Cash believe that he could do it. He said because when he came in, he did not in any way think that anybody wanted to hear it, didn't think he could pull it off. He said, and I truly believed in him, and I think that rubbed off, and I made him believe in himself, and him believing in himself is why it worked.
So see that, like, what is that? Just being like, no, you hit Johnny Cash. Like, you know,
I'm Rick Rubin.
You're fucking Johnny Cash. Who wouldn't have told him that he hits, you know? Like, and again, this sounds like I'm knocking. I respect Rick Rubin. I just don't, again, I don't get him. I don't get what's happening there.
He kind of talks a little bit now that is smart. But when he gets off of that, when he gets off of like the specific thing he did with Johnny Cash, what's your philosophy on how to create? He sounds a little bit like the Goop lady.
Gwyneth Paltrow?
He sounds a little bit like, you can't deny that Gwyneth Paltrow is a great actress. I don't think.
Yeah, she's good.
But when she starts talking about how she sees the world and how it informs her art, everyone goes, okay, so I guess anyone can act. What the fuck was that? I think that Rick Rubin gets away with being that way because he's ugly and an old man. But I think he's a little goopy. I think he's a little goopy around the edges. And that still doesn't take away from the things he's accomplished, just like I'm not trying to take away from Gwyneth. But if I said Gwyneth Paltrow kind of sounds like a dingbat, I don't think anyone would, maybe like a super feminist person would be like, you hate women. But for the most part, people would be like, even if they disagreed, they'd be like, yeah, I get it. But if you say Rick Rubin sounds like a dumbass, people kind of get their hackles up because they love the Beastie Boys or they love those Cash records. But he does kind of sound like a dipshit. It's
I mean, you know, this brings back to what we were talking about.
What?
He is?
What?
Rick Rubin?
Are you sure? I'm not saying I thought he'd fucking campaigning for Kamala or nothing. I figured he'd be like some kind of third party guy or something or whatever, but I would not have thought that.
Well, remember that he's a Gen Xer that came from that era of fuck you, I won't do what you tell me, but only one band knew who they were talking to. Everyone else was literally just talking to anyone who'd listen. It's actually something I want to get into later, but we'll transition into that in a minute. He's been accused of it several times, but the most specific, do you guys know who Boots Riley is?
Mm-hmm. I do.
Boots Riley's a musician and a director. He's made some incredible stuff. I really liked Virgo, personally. Anyway, I like that. What was that one Lakeith was in? What was the name of that movie?
Did he do Sorry to Bother You?
Sorry for Bothering You.
Whatever it was. Yeah.
Yes.
It was Sorry for Bothering You.
Yeah.
I love that. He has said specifically on record, he not only is like a guy who's voted for Trump, he is telling everyone in Hollywood they should, while pretending not to be that guy. And he's like saying, no, he's like having meetings with big people in the music business and in Hollywood and telling them this is why you got to do it. Now, that's just an accusation, but the thing about Boots Riley, that's not a thing he does regularly.
Yeah, and why would you say something that public unless you could back it up? Like, that'd be a weird thing. Not that people don't do that.
He's not like a rival. He doesn't make movies. Boots hasn't made music in a long time.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that I'd trust Boots Riley with my son because I've never met him, but I trust him with this personally. It also just makes sense when you think about how goopy he is.
He is goopy. He is goopy. Right. That got brought
like
up
Aaron
earlier.
Rodgers.
JFK Jr. Yeah, JFK Jr.
RFK Jr. Yeah.
That got brought up on Twitter. There's a big thread going around of someone asking, like, hey, what's the worst song of all time? And the one that's gotten the most popular is that I can't even remember the damn band or the name of the song, but it's the one that's like, Alabama, Arkansas.
I love my mom and pop.
Yeah.
That's a fine song.
Yeah, it's Edward Sharpe and the Magnetic Zeros, I believe.
There you go. But
I would not put that anywhere near the top of worst songs.
Song, which is in that same genre, is worse than that song. Every single Lumineers song is worse.
I personally wouldn't either, but that was just used as one example, and somebody then was like, yeah, basically that whole millennial trend of stomp, clap, hey, Starbucks music. And I do hate that shit. I mean, when it was going on, it was in the background, whatever. I've never liked it. It's Amber's favorite shit in the world. And to me, they all sound the same, but I'm aware that I can be a papaw about certain things. I was like, well, whatever, y'all have it. But they showed the video of that band that you just mentioned doing it on Tiny Desk or whatever.
Yeah, that's viral right now.
I mean, they are, comically millennial, crunchy, hipster, whatever. And this woman tweeted it today, and she's like, this, 12, 15 years ago, the Democrats were so goddamn popular that this was clearly, liberal coded, whatever the fuck. She's like, but if you see these people now, they very much could be right wing, RFK loving, fuck the seed oils or whatever people. And like, that is true. And it started happening before now. Cause like, Drew would keep me up to par on like some of his, the crunchy anti-vax, whatever people going on. But like, it really is true. Like, and I don't know if it was COVID or what, but like so many of those people who, if you looked at them 15 years ago, you'd be like, that's a liberal. Now you might be like, that's a homesteader that, wants to live off the grid because they hate Democrats, Republicans, and everybody.
Didn't it kind of start to cascade with all that? I mean, during like COVID and after the aftermath of COVID, the vax thing. Because again, we talked about this before, but pre-COVID years ago, I used to, and I'm not saying I'm the only one. I'm sure a lot of people said this, but I used to say that like anti-vax stuff, I used to call that liberal climate change denial. That's what I was like, that shit ain't nothing but liberal climate, because that used to be a liberal thing. And
absolutely.
Then COVID it changed that, and they horseshoe together, and a lot of it got wrapped up together, and you're right, and now it's all fucking weird. And yeah, you got people like Aaron Rodgers and RFK Jr. and people like that, and it's hard to know. Just so everybody knows, I was never super into those crunchy whites when they were still libtards either. So like, just to make that clear. I mean, no offense, Drew, y'all are the hitting types of hippies. I mean, you guys back it up. I mean, like
there
bullshitty.
Ain't nothing about me or how I live my life that is copacetic with those people, other than maybe stinking and every once in a while wanting to see my friends naked.
Right.
But, I mean, they don't even.
Yeah, I mean, I like both those things.
You can look at her in that video and tell she's on drugs I would never touch. Speaking of which, I tell you guys, I found meth in my town, but we'll get into that. That's basically the whole story. But just
send your boy some.
Just on the ground. That's where we're at. We're back in the blue and sniffing the white, yellow. But I have a lot to say. We don't have to get into it about that movement and Rick Rubin, believe it or not.
Go ahead. I'm hungry now.
You'd like to Rick a Rubin real quick?
It's so hard.
Rubens do hit. Drew, you said you found meth on the ground. That just real quick. Corey, my mama asked me yesterday if you're on meth. So,
me?
Yeah.
What?
I know. Yeah, I know.
Get fucking eye fixed, dog.
I know. It doesn't make, yeah. Well, Rob Ford was fat on crack. Like you are, you do true. Be a show. Like if anybody could do it.
Is that it? Though it's like I'm just always
steak and Lexapro, and everyone thinks he's on drugs.
Yeah. Yes, it is that, you be manic. That's what I told her. I was like, he's a very manic person and just in general. But yeah, that's why she said
you just saw a video from 3 years ago or something, or 10. Maybe you were on meth on her timeline.
Yeah, but dude, I think what's funny is like, and obviously the only time people see me is when I am on camera. Duh. Otherwise they wouldn't see me. And like, I'm performing. I mean, like once we are done, I'm back to just, whatever. So, like, trust me, I leave it all on the field.
Something to get there. I mean, I could see it, is what I'm saying. I get what she's saying.
I guess me too. But what's funny is like she's just now saying this, which makes me think I did something recently, and I'm like,
I don't know specifically what clip or whatever she saw that made her say that. She just said,
"You want some? Because I can get it."
I didn't think meth, but I will say you posted something recently back when you had the blonde beard.
Yeah.
And I thought you had gone off the deep end again because I had just seen you. So I was like, he changed this much in 4 days. Like, I think we've got to call somebody because you also looked heavier than you are right now. It was like that's not good. But meth.
It's funny. I wasn't heavier. My beard was just bushier, so it made like I went to the doctor today. I weighed 226, cold, son, cold.
All right, hold on. I want to do this because I think it's interesting, and it's like a big part of why I've hated Rick Rubin, in spite of the Johnny Cash tapes. And by the way, this new Tyler Childers record, which he was a part of, is great.
I love it. It's fun.
Is. I don't know
it's
what
fun.
Goopy shit he said to Tyler, but it worked. But so in my world, during my youth, the Avett Brothers were, for me and many people from the South who were whatever, hippie adjacent, like they were a big deal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And if you ever saw them live back then, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You just happened upon them in a field at a festival. It was unbelievable.
Fire.
It was punk rock energy, which many of us weren't used to because we like music that sounds like music. But it was punk rock energy with our grandparents' hymns and those, bluegrass chord progressions and all that. And I, just as a person, was like, yeah, this is great. I want this. But obviously the industry saw that and was like, this is really, really, really easy to pull off now that we've seen it. Like, now that we've seen it, I think we can do this ad nauseum. And they did. Mumford & Sons, the Lumineers. What do you call
Edward
it?
Sharp and the Magnetic Zeros, I think was their name.
Stomp,
the Head
clap.
and the Heart. That was another one. I don't know if y'all remember the Head and the Heart.
Yep. So stomping and clapping became a whole thing. Enter Rick Rubin on the Avett Brothers' first or second, I think first record with a major label. And in my opinion, set all that in motion. In my opinion, took something that meant something to me and turned it into the Lumineers culturally. Is that talent? Yeah, dude. Billions upon billions of tickets have been sold. Mumford & Sons was probably the most popular band in the world behind like Taylor Swift and Beyonce for a few years.
Mm-hmm.
Stomping and clapping. Their banjo player has a tattoo of a banjo and says he hates the banjo and won't play it anymore, that he just learned how to play the banjo to stay in the band when they decided to become Stomp Clap. It was as contrived as any movement ever. So I have this like personal thing, I think. So I'm admitting my bias here. I have this personal thing with Rubin where it's like, maybe that's what you do. Like, you take culture and you make it like more palatable or marketable, and that is a talent. But then to call yourself an artist, that's where I think I get my hackles up. Like, you are the suit. You just took the suit off.
Right. You just don't wear one.
Sit across from all these headstrong musicians and writers and comedians and directors and realized I'm the enemy. What if I grow a fucking beard, fart while eating granola, and then pretend I'm one of them? Then I can get them to do whatever I want without ever learning how to play an instrument. That's an extreme way to phrase it. That's kind of who I think.
I've only ever heard him again, and I've just seen like clip. He made the podcast rounds recently, and that got turned into clips, and I saw a bunch of those. That's pretty much the extent of my Rick Rubin research. But I feel like I've only ever heard him, like I said, kind of downplay his level of, at least like musicianship or whatever.
Okay,
I'm saying, you say like you can't call yourself an artist. I always see him being like, I see him saying things like, look, I can't even play a musical instrument. I don't know. He's like, I just have an ear.
Then how are you the producer? My point, like what I'm saying is, think about what you just said. All I've ever seen him do is the opposite of what I hate about Suits, which is them taking credit.
Right.
Everything we always complained about when we were in those meetings is this motherfucker don't know shit about shit. They brought us here to tell them, to show them.
Rick Rubin pretty clearly knows shit about shit, though. I mean, objectively, I think.
I think he ruined the Avett Brothers.
To be fair.
Okay.
Well, I'm not saying he never fucked nothing up.
Johnny Cash.
Okay, so do you think, obviously they wouldn't say it, the artists that have...
Wait, real quick, though. Let me just say this to Trey's, like, snide point there. I'm not trying to say that Rick Rubin didn't do these things. I'm saying that my gripe with him is he is lauded as a producer while saying he doesn't produce things. Let's believe him. Let's believe Rick Rubin. You don't play music. You don't sit at the boards. You don't mix it. you're just the guy giving notes. You just figured out that if you grew your beard out and let everyone see your belly and gooped it up, you could do what the studio does.
So he's Crunchy Khaled,
which is to make this marketable slop for the dumb masses. And I've been the slop dumb masses before.
Okay,
you guys are taking what I'm saying like that, and you're like saying I'm insulting him. No, I'm saying he's great.
No,
I'm saying that he is one of the best music execs of all time, masquerading as a producer.
But that's what he is. Okay, I hear what you're saying, but like, do you think? Obviously, none of the artists that currently have an album with him would say this because that'd be shitting where you eat. But like, let's say 20 years from now, Rick Rubin's dead, and Tyler Childers is doing a tell-all or whatever. Like, you really think that he would be like, yeah, he didn't do shit. I just wanted the Rick Rubin stamp so that I could sell more. You think that's like his attitude?
No, I think his attitude is like, that guy was very valuable to have in the room. He had really good ideas. It kind of blows my mind that he doesn't play music, but he had all those good ideas. What I'm saying is some execs have good ideas. Some notes from the studio are good. But part of our problem as artists is it comes from the side of the table with the suit of the same guy who ruined our last project.
Right.
Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah, I've never thought about Rick Rubin like that, but that's obviously if that's what
I'm trying to scream at you.
I know. No, I know. I was trying to compliment you by saying like you've sort of pulled the veil off, and I'm like, yeah, it might be that he just, the way he look and be is just so he can sort of traverse that whole thing without looking like the guy that you're scared to tell your ideas to.
And it might not have been the plan. I mean, I feel like I don't know a lot about his history with the Beastie Boys. That might have been super organic. What I'm saying is you had a dude in the room who can't play music telling people, why don't you try this? But that's an exec. That's who does that.
Right.
But he had a different hat on. That's what is brilliant to me. It is brilliant to do that.
I was going to say, like, there's no way that this guy is just allowed to keep doing these things that hit if he don't hit.
Right.
And I sort of believe that, but then I think about DJ Khaled, and that's 100% what I think is happening there. So,
yeah, but DJ Khaled, though, like, he like, I don't know. He was very.
I think everyone's like short bus treatment him a little bit.
Yeah. I also just don't think that he made some like bangers, right? Like shit to get you hype or whatever. But like, I don't think anyone thinks that DJ Khaled has put his stamp on a classic, right? I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
people do think that about Rick Rubin, like a bunch of albums that he helped produce and people that I'm sure won a ton of Grammys and shit. Like DJ Khaled's not like artistically respected. He's like, he's made money and he's made like club hits. And I say made because I'm with you. I've never understood exactly what the fuck he even does. But like, even whatever it is he's doing, his output is not the same type of thing at all as Rick Rubin's has been. I don't think.
And like you said, the way he's treated or felt about, which I think is part of what bothers me, which is petty. I know that. But I want to be very clear. I'm not saying Rick Rubin doesn't have talent. I am saying there are execs who have good ideas. Rick figured out, hey, and maybe it was organic, but for the sake of my argument, Rick figured out I'm one of those people. But if I am on the side of the record label, these artists aren't going to open up to me. Whereas if I come in as the collaborator, they will. And there's nothing wrong with any of that. I'm acknowledging that. I just I don't know that I think he's an artist, and I kind of don't like him.
All right, you heard it here, folks. Legendary music producer Rick Rubin does not hit for Drew. You want to know what doesn't hit for anybody? Erectile dysfunction. Am I right? It's more common than you think. Wiener problems don't hit. Nobody wants wiener problems. It's frustrating. It's emasculating. It's a lot of things. But it's simpler to treat now than it ever has been. Talking about our sponsor, Hims. Through Hims, you can connect online with a licensed provider to access personalized treatment options discreetly and on your terms. Through Hims, you can access personalized prescription treatment options for ED like hard mints, SexRx, plus Climax Control if prescribed. Climax Control, I think I might be into that. Hims offers access to ED treatment options ranging from hard mints to trusted generics that cost 95% less than the brand names. if prescribed. You shouldn't have to go out of your way just to feel like yourself. So Hims brings expert care straight to you with 100% online access to personalized treatments that will put your goals first. This is not one size fits all care that forgets you're in the waiting room. This is your health and your goals with the priority put on those with real medical providers, making sure you get what you need to get the results that you want. Think of Hims as your digital front door that gets you back to your old self with simple 100% online access to trusted treatments for ED and more, all in one place. So, to get simple online access to personalized, affordable care for ED, hair loss, weight loss, and more, visit hims.com/wellred. That's hims.com/wellred for your free online visit. That's HIMS.com/WELLRED for your free online visit. Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products include compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information. And we thank Hims for sponsoring the show. All right, we're back. Drew, I wanted to you know what, like, I think you'd hit at? You should be like the East Tennessee Charleston White. East Tennessee cracker Charleston White.
Stander of own business.
Stander owner of business professionally,
Cracker
I think.
Charleston White.
Cracker Charleston White, yeah.
Ain't he a snitch? See, I'm already doing it. Fuck
Yes.
Charleston White.
Yeah. No, he is. He definitely is. He's got his position on that, I reckon. And I'm not an expert on the guy.
He
but
takes
I
the
think I
Bernie
heard
Mac
it. It's actually
position.
one of the few times he made sense. Go ahead.
he said, basically, he's like, you know, fuck these gangs, fuck gang members, fuck criminals in our community and stuff like that. I'm cleaning up the streets is what I'm doing. But also he had a like a beef with a specific dude once that, like, on a podcast or something, this dude called in and was like, we're going to pull up on you. Fuck, you know, if you don't stop talking shit, you're going to get your ass whipped. And he's like, fuck you, motherfucker, you know. And then he on camera called that dude's probation officer or parole officer or whatever and told him that he had been whatever, selling drugs or crossing state lines or whatever he was doing, and got him like violated and sent back to jail and shit. So I mean, he's not a giver of fucks, I'll tell you that much.
This goes to a bit I have been doing, like telling people as a public defender, snitches almost never get stitches. Like, they get out, they get to see their family at Christmas. Snitch on whoever. Not because I'm pro cop or pro snitching, but just get out, because you're not going to get see, how's that guy alive? He did that on a podcast, and no one's right. That's crazy. I know. He said, I saw a clip where he said something like, and this I did find slightly compelling, where he said something like, they killing each other. They killing members of your community, and you're mad at me because I talked to a cop. I'm the bad guy, and that's your hero. And I thought, that's kind of unassailable there.
That's I heard that same thing. I just put it poorly.
Who only shot a cop, or who only shot a white man in Manhattan who worked for the oil company or whatever. But like, this dude shot your cousin, and I told on him, and I'm the bad guy. Like, okay, that's.
I saw a lot of people. I don't remember who the dudes were that were like testifying in the Diddy thing or whatever. And there were so many people online that were like, these fucking snitches ain't got no loyalty. And I mean, maybe it's just me, but I'm like, I think this is different. Like, I feel like with the pedophile shit, it's different. Like, listen, I'm not
going to counter I got, Corey, is why they wait till now? Like, you knew about this for 15 years and you was cool with it?
Right. I agree with that, but like, to me,
also,
it's like, dude,
with like Kid Cudi in particular, right? Because I know some other rappers and stuff was calling him a snitch and shit for that, and it's like, but he wasn't.
Got his booty fucked.
I'm saying he wasn't like, they weren't part of a collaborative criminal effort, and he rolled over on him to protect himself. Like, he was fucking just a victim of this person. And I didn't know that victims could be snitches, but I guess, I guess that still counts. That's just tattletaling or whatever. But to me, that should be a different thing. That's not
that's just idiots online. That's probably white people with a black avatar.
No, there were like actual other rappers. I don't remember who specifically, but I remember. I think maybe Young Thug, maybe.
I was going to say Young Thug, but maybe it was Young Thug.
Now, Old Thug probably have something different to say on
it. It may not have been Young Thug, but I feel like it was. But it was somebody you've heard of. like tweeted, fuck
East
Kid
Tennessee,
Cudi for
Charleston
snitching.
White. Only other thing I know about Charleston White, doesn't he just like hate women? I mean, like, isn't it?
Yeah,
obvious?
dude,
We said he's staying on business.
he's a maniac. He's an
You want me to
absolute
be a
crazy
maniac?
person. But like,
But I
he's
need to sell
wild.
some tickets. If you like,
Yeah.
write me up just like a few things that I don't see it yet, Trey. I'm not trying to get you to do it for me. I just don't see it. I'll do it. I'll be Charlie Black.
Well, you were just saying the other day on text, and you said it before on here that a beef would hit for you. I just feel like you should try to get into the hater space a little more.
Staying on business.
Yeah, right. Because I'd feel like that would have hit for you. You'd find that fulfilling to be a professional hater.
The problem is twofold. There's a twofold problem, and they're related. One is like I be doing that. I'm just not famous. Like I've been shitting on Andrew Schultz.
Yeah.
Theo less so, but I bring him up because Marin's getting all this. Like sometimes I see a bit like what Marin did, and I'm like, I be doing that, but no one wants to give me credit. It's like, well, yeah, because I'm not famous. But here's the other problem, and this is why one of the many reasons I'm not famous is like, yeah, I be doing it on our podcast or on Gravy Baby, which has 1/10 of the listenership of this already smallish podcast. No offense. Like, I don't be looking at my phone and being like, hey, everybody, I got something to share about Andrew Schultz today. Because I'm like, I honestly think that's 90s. Do you know what I mean by 90s?
Yeah.
Gay.
No.
But the way we used to say it. Yeah, that.
That's a good
way
fart.
we used to say the word gay. Like, it's just like,
for me too.
You're 40. Why are you talking about what a podcaster did?
Yeah.
No, fuck it. I'll do it. Good idea.
Anybody that's 40 years old and just talks shit into their phone, especially in their car, is a huge fucking tool, loser, asshole.
Yeah, but you ain't doing it like Michael Rappaport be doing it.
Dude. Not other podcasts.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the thing. Like, if you're not
even the government, sometimes I start to do that, and I'm like, "What am I doing, dude?" Like, they're murdering babies. Yeah. Like, they're gonna deport a senator. We gotta shoot people or like lay low. You're gonna get killed, Trey. It is fucking violence o'clock, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I'm like, we're either gonna get killed or it just falls on deaf ears. So, it's pretty bleak out there. In the world. So I saw the thing.
Don't change topics. Trey, tell me more about what I should do.
It's just always
tell me more about
funny
what he
to me.
does and how I might translate that to be in the East Tennessee version.
He just does not give a fuck and will go in on anybody, any subject, anything, anytime, anywhere to their face if they're present. And I just seeing you do that would hit for me. I just don't want to be on the receiving end of it.
Places to do that.
Yeah.
I talk shit to John Chrisface all the time, and it just means I don't ever get invited to do anything with those people in that.
Right.
Like, they see that, and unlike the black community, apparently, they're not like, this is good content. They're like, that guy is going to kill
when Mike Rassane did that podcast and fucking said the shit about Hank Williams and you commented on it, calling him a stupid wop or whatever.
Yeah. It was a hit for Mike.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I know, but it very much hit for me. Cracked me up.
I think it kind of did hit for Mike.
I'm sure he was fine with it.
I'm sure he did on his podcast saying the joke was funny if it made sense, saying it's so funny that Hank Williams Sr. died of an overdose and drinking himself to death and pills when he makes music like Jambalaya. And it's like, you picked the only goofy song he has, though. Like, you're displaying your Italian WAP ignorance. I think I said it's fine for you guys to say this to your dozens of fans from your basement, but for the millions of us who know what Hank Williams Sr. has done, he did pills and he beat his wife and he sang about it. And like, he
was a hero.
To some power.
How dare you disparage the name of a wife-beating pillhead, you son of a bitch.
He tried to elevate the name. He was trying to be like, this guy wasn't a sad sack of shit. I'm like, that's literally what he's known for. I mean, one of the points I made was he invented sad sack of shit country songs along with George Jones. Maybe not invented, but they made them famous. George Jones and Hank Williams Sr. are why we have the stereotype of sad country song crying in your beer. Literally, there's a tear in my beer because I'm crying for you, dear. You are on my lonely mind is a Hank Williams Sr. bar.
Oh, yeah.
Crying in your beer. That's him. He's the crying in your beer guy. And y'all want to sit around with your fucking gold chains? You're right, dude. This feels good.
See? Yeah.
Yeah.
Although,
also, why was Frank Sinatra considered a badass when he's up there wearing a suit doing doo-wop shit? How about that one for them motherfuckers? You know what I mean?
Oh, because he drank whiskey. Okay, cool. We ran it from the cops.
he also, didn't he like beat women and stuff?
Oh, you loved it.
That goes
we
a
all
long
did.
way. Yeah.
Dude, they all beat women back then. Fucking, best James Bond to ever do it, Sean Connery. Not only did he beat women, he bragged about it to Barbara Walters in the 90s. Oh, I haven't changed my mind on that one a bit. You got to give them a good slap sometimes. What's more? I don't know. Like in the slur game, what's more offensive, WAP or Guinea? I would think it would be WAP.
I definitely changed it from Guinea to WAP, but so that's probably a point to you. I think I was like, you know what? Let me punch this up a little bit.
Well, I don't even really know what Guinea means, but I know that WAP means without papers, which is why they called them that, and that seems pretty offensive.
I think that none of this is offensive anymore because they are not in any way systemically racist.
Right, oppressed. Are they also Dagos?
Dagos, WAPs, Guineas.
How do they have all them?
Grease balls.
Have you seen
Where do
them?
they get all the fucking
Have
slurs?
you seen them, Trey?
Yeah.
Well,
but
it just comes out of you. You got 3 or 4
came to
names
New York, and New York's the king of talking shit, son. Now, granted,
what do you
most
call
of that is
Irish
because they're
people?
Italians.
Mix. That's it, right? Just Mick.
Patties.
Yeah, because we hit. We didn't need 3.
Yeah. The only thing I know is Mick and Patty, and that's why the police cars were called the Patty Wagon, because you put the mix in the back of it.
In case it's not clear or people are wondering, I really do hate Italian people, but it is from being petty. I hate anyone tan. I have a great joke I've been doing about it. I hate anyone tan. They got around the only thing that's bad about being white in America.
Yeah, it sucks.
Skin cancer.
Like, I sort of hate Cooley a little bit sometimes when I see him because I'm like, why you got that and I don't? You know, he's just like Southern, but he's dark and he hits.
You used to lay in the tanning bed. Why'd you stop that?
It hurts.
Because he was getting skin cancer, dude.
I had a mole taken off of which it ended up not being cancer. But after that, I was like, hey, you know what? It's probably not the cancer I need to get.
Speaking of slurs.
Yeah.
Let's get into this. Someone I know.
Favorite one. Go. All right.
Yeah. I got a list. He just pulls it out to scroll, falls on the floor, rolls out the door. Now that woke's dead or whatever.
Yeah, we can say it.
Fucking rest in
I'm
peace.
out here. People are saying it. Like, I'm out in the comedy scene, and even Shane Gillis, the king.
Wait, they're saying what?
Everything but the N-word.
Oh, right. I was about to say, come on now.
I've heard tell of that one coming.
Man.
But see, that one, people, you get your ass whipped.
Yeah.
over that one. Like that, the reason them dudes, those fucking Austin Edgelord dudes that gonna bring that one back is because they get tuned up in the fucking parking lot by, a couple pipe hitting bros or whatever.
Exactly. So let me run this by you. You happen upon someone who does say it, and they're not racist, or they claim not to be. It's more of like I guess the same reason the Austin comics say retard every other joke now. It's like, I don't care.
Hard R?
Yeah. What do you do with that?
What's the context? Like, are they quoting Tarantino? Are they telling a joke? Or are they just saying, man, look at that line. There's a whole bunch of, like, what's the...
Maybe both of the last two. I mean, I don't know. Here's the go ahead.
I wouldn't know what. Again, the context would have a lot to do with it. But like, I think at first I would just be stunned. Like, I mean, I've heard there's some people in Chickamauga that be saying it, but I knew going in, this person over here will probably say this, and I'm just not going to be near them.
Why do they say it? Like, I don't know if you ever thought about it, but are they racist?
A black person showed up, I assume. If we're talking about a Chickamaugan.
Like, they normally are just telling jokes, and like, a lot of them will be like, I'm not racist because the guy who I underpay is black, or whatever. But like,
they just think it's funny.
Yeah, and that's my thing too, is like, I actually think that they benefit the most from you not being able to say that word in public, because that's the only way the word hits when you hear it, is if you're not supposed to say it. You know what I mean?
100% agree. To that point about the R word, Gillis very publicly recently was like, "Hey, we don't all have to say it." Like and his point was kind of like, "We're kind of ruining it." I'm in Austin, every comic's using it. He's doing, but I've been thinking a lot about it, man. Just stay with me. Almost, not quite. It's almost worse when they're not racist, because a racist, you're going, why is this dude not worried about that word? And it's like, because he dislikes black people.
Right. Yeah, he don't care.
So, like, why would he care? Whereas this person's going, no, I don't have that in my heart, but I still don't care if I'm, like, scaring black kids or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
That if I'm making the community feel does that make sense?
Yeah, and it's also
Is he trying to get a GoFundMe going potentially on the internet? Because people will pay upwards of $800,000 for calling kids the N-word.
Could be that. I hadn't thought about the monetary aspects of it. I mean, dude, in Austin, that's definitely part of what's going on. Is people think this is an angle to like get on TV or to get a following or whatever. And again, they're not throwing the N-word around down there, but it's coming. I mean, we are 3 Kill Tony Netflix specials away from that being an opening joke.
I saw a clip, an Instagram reel yesterday of a white dude. It was soft A, not hard R. But
does he have a mustache?
Yeah.
Is it the one I sent you?
Yeah, I wasn't going to say that because I didn't want to put you on Front Street or whatever. But yes, Corey sent me a reel yesterday.
He's watching a little kid cook.
Yeah, but it's not. There's a kid. There's like a 10-year-old kid who was like this and a godly woman or whatever, and it's like, what the fuck are you talking about, you little dipshit? But like all that guy says is this, and then he says it, but with a soft A, and it's got tons of views and stuff, and it's all over the place. So I'm saying I think you're right. Like,
is racist at all necessarily?
No, he was just hitting, is what
And it did hit.
He thinks it's hits. Okay, so my thing with that is like,
the kid was also importantly, the kid he was saying that about was a white kid. If we didn't say that, because that's an important piece of context.
Who was not hitting?
The white kid was not hitting.
It strikes me as the obvious conclusion of this sort of performative masculinity that has come out of the Rogan sphere. Of like what it means to be a man is to wear like tactical underwear and have a bow on you at all times, because it's like, I'll do whatever I want. I'll say whatever I want. And it's like, sure. Why did you want to say that though? That's
how's your life improved?
And also like, how are you making people feel? Well, I don't care. Well, then that's not manly. Like maybe I'm being corny or a dad, but I don't think so. Like to me, it's like, that's the weakest shit I could think of. Is to say, I have no responsibility to the people around me. Like, how did we, I don't know, maybe I'm trying to make a mountain out of molehills here, but like, how did we get to a point where like the idea of being a man is not helping the people around you? That's massive.
Right. That used to be it. I mean, that used to be it. Like in TV shows and in movies, like the mark of a good man was someone who thought about everyone except for himself. Like it was the person that was like, duty needs to be done. I got to take care of these people. If they don't eat, I don't eat. Like helping people with their tire. And now it's like the definition of a man is I only look out for me and my,
maybe my 2 kids or whatever.
Yeah, but they barely even do that. Like, but yeah, like I don't understand that either. And like they claim like they claim like we need to go back to the 50s and 60s when men were men. And I'm like, man, I don't know how it actually was back then, but in all the movies that were made back then and how it's depicted, those men were nice guys who wanted to help their community. And like that was every character.
Fair,
Jimmy
only
Stewart,
the white straight
only
ones,
the white ones.
So maybe that's like part
of course. But like Jimmy Stewart's and those type, they were presented like the hero was a guy who wanted to help and a guy who like didn't give a shit if anything happened good for him. It wasn't about him. It was like when you're a man, you think about everybody else, and I think that's good.
Yeah, I just realized we had a version of this conversation probably 3 years ago or so where we weren't talking about the N-word, but where I said some version of this of like, if my texts with you guys come out there's going to be a lot of fans very disappointed in me. But my argument has always been, I don't actually think it's hypocritical to be that way, because I didn't stop saying that word out of fear. I stopped saying like whatever word, retard.
Any
I
of them.
definitely have texted that in the last 2 hours, probably 2 days.
Yeah.
So like, but it's like I stopped doing that out of respect, because I found out people were like, hey, you know, that really hurts people. And I was like, all right, well, I don't want to do that. But I realized now that most of these people stopped doing it out of fear. That's what's crazy to me about all this. It's like they stopped saying these words because they were afraid. And that's, I don't know why. Maybe I'm naive. That blew my mind. Like every time I have that realization, it kind of blows my mind.
And then they see what happens. Then they see what happens to Morgan Wallen. Then they see the dude that gets fired from his company that gets $800,000 on GoFundMe, and now they're not scared anymore. And they never had the respect, and the only thing was the fear, and now the fear is gone.
Yep, I agree.
The other reason, to be fair, because yes, if any of our texts ever come out, it's fucking game over. But the reason it ought not be, yes, thank you, exactly. The reason it ought not be is that, like, you know, I've always, context and intent is impure. Like, I don't say that word. If people tell me that it hurts people, then I don't want to do that. But we're in a group text, and you know all the people in it, and you know that it doesn't hurt anybody in there, and it's not intended for anyone else. That makes it completely fucking different, in my opinion. Especially when the people involved are like comedy professionals, and so you know what the bar or the standard is for offense or things that are found offensive, and so it's like it's not. You know, even if they did come out, it would not be fair. You know, it's me preempting it in the way, in the event it ever does happen. But it's still, it's not hypocritical, and it is different. It's like that shit is private, and it's intended only for the ears of people who I know are not going to be upset by it unless we're trying to upset each other, and then that's a whole different thing. Which also helps.
Which we do a lot.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, and I don't take it back. You have a midget dick, Corey, but I do feel like
fine.
I do feel like when you start down that path of language, I agree with everything you said, but I want to be clear. I'm not trying to justify it. I think that the way that I act with you guys at my age is cringe. Like, that's how I would define it. It's not hateful. It's not ignorant. I'm not hurting anyone. But like, if I went back and read it, I'd be like, Jesus Christ, I'm cringe. I'm disgusted. Like, what's wrong with me? So
I go back and read it all the time, and it's fire.
It's great. If you forget about it for a minute and go back to revisit it, it hits even harder. Past us, yeah, right.
I'm not fucking haters, boy.
This wasn't like me walking through this to be like, now listen, sometimes I slip up, but it's different. What I'm trying to say is, it continually blows my mind to find out how much like fear or shame or whatever was like holding this stuff together. Does that make sense what I'm saying? I mean, dude, let's take it even more extreme with some of the stuff going on with Trump or the genocide in Gaza and all that. It's like there are people who are excited that he is redistricting the map in Texas and that they're threatening to deport a Congress. And I'm like, then you don't love freedom. Oh shit, you never did. You always wanted fascism. I'm an idiot. I'm a dipshit. I've been trying to be like, can't you see this is fascism? And the whole time it's like, they're like, yeah, and it hits.
Yeah, right. Fascism is freedom if you're a fascist, you know? Like, that's what, I don't know any other way to put it, but like, yeah, I mean, this is what I was going to bring up earlier, and you said don't switch topics, but now we're here, is like, I saw that Trump was talking about like not getting FEMA aid to any state or city that like boycotted Israel.
He pulled back on that, but go ahead.
Well, good. I mean, because that's such boilerplate anti-constitution. Like, it's crazy. But I was like, I don't know of any. What state and city is boycott? What statewide, citywide boycott of Israel is even going on? Like, is that a thing? And where can I go party with those people?
You know, I'm not even sure. That's not a bad point. I know that like organizations have done it.
Yeah, but they don't represent the state.
Right. I'm not saying there's not any. I bet there is a town somewhere.
I'm not saying there's not any.
Like there's one full of Muslims. Anyway.
What is that? But also, I'm sorry. That's what I was about to say. What does that like a city boycotting Israel? Like, what would that even look like in
Yeah, I don't get
in
it.
practice. Like,
It could mean a few different things. I mean, look, the city of Atlanta, had they boycotted Israel a long time ago, Cop City would not exist because some percentage, and I'm not read up on it enough right now, of that tech and what they're doing there, the IDF trained them. So, like, to your point, I get your point, but like in that case, literally
Right.
Israel was getting a contract.
So
to
like,
the city of Atlanta.
just like boycotting anything, boycotting Disney, not watching movies and shit, boycotting Israel, you don't purchase any, you don't buy anything from them at all. Or is it just the government or Israeli companies? Is Sabra an Israeli company? Have they been boycotted because they ain't at the grocery store no more? And I like their hummus. Is that what happened to fucking?
Is some people mean don't let the IDF, don't pay them to come train your cops, but some people mean every Israeli company, and they say, and their argument is not because that company's necessarily to blame, but because this is the only way to like make change. Is you need the people of Israel to feel this, to understand. Because, dude, when we boycotted South Africa, we stopped doing business with anyone. It became illegal to do business with anyone in South Africa. Period.
Son of a bitch. Sabra is a U.S.-based Israeli company. My local Ralph's, they stopped carrying their hummus, which was always my favorite hummus. I didn't know they were Israeli.
I like that too.
But I noticed that the other day, and I was like, oh, they must be out. They didn't get a shipment in. But now I'm thinking it was a much more targeted thing than that. It wasn't just something that happened. Well, I'll be damned.
Yeah.
It says it's wholly owned by Pepsi, though. So.
Yeah, they probably sold to Pepsi a long time ago.
And they had a ton of other Pepsi shit in there. So give me my hummus back. That don't count.
It don't count. Hey, where are you going to be this weekend, boys?
Dude,
I'll be in Indianapolis.
Oh, sorry.
I'll be at Indianapolis this weekend, Austin actually next weekend, and then after that, the weekend after that, St. Louis. Then upstate New York, Connecticut, Virginia, and a bunch of Oklahoma City, and a bunch of other places out throughout the rest of the year. So go to TreyCrowder.com and check it out. Come see me. Make it hit.
I'll be in Nashville Monday to hop on Nateland, the live Nateland show. I'll be doing 8 minutes of clean comedy. Pray for me.
All right.
I'll be in Denver the weekend after that at the Denver Comedy Lounge. I'm there for a wedding. It's not a headlining spot, but I am closing out the shows. And then I am in Chattanooga, Tennessee, September 5th and 6th at the world-famous Comedy Catch.
See, you like having a meltdown at a Nateland clean show or whatever on stage and going in on them all from the stage, whatever. If there was a video of that, just inject it straight into my veins. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, I'll be in Charlotte, Virginia, and Lexington, Kentucky soon, the 14th and 15th. It's actually, unfortunately, that weekend in Charlotte is the 8-year anniversary of the fucking Tiki Torch bullshit. So
Charlottesville, what
did I say?
You said Charlotte the second time at least.
Charlottesville, yeah, in Virginia. It'll be like the 8th anniversary of that Tiki Torch bullshit. So if you want to get that off your mind, come see me. CoreyRyanForster.com for tickets, and that's also where you can find my bonus stuff site where I have another podcast called Public Domain Sleepy Time Theater that's a lot of fun. Thank you all for listening to the WellRED Show. We love to stick around. Listen to Putting on Airs and Gravy Baby and Weekly Skews. We love to stick around longer, but we got to go. Tune in next week if you got nothing to do. Thank you. God bless you. Good night and skew.
Fart.
Putting on airs. We might not know much about history, we don't care. We gon' get drunk and we talk about yachts. We gon' get drunk and we gon' talk a lot. Dress real fancy, sit in our chairs, sip on our tea, putting on airs. We collected from our love of Downton Abbey. We collected, we found out we're both so fancy. Hey, what's the difference between rednecks and royal families? Only money, cause they both have sex with family. Ew. Putting on airs. What other rednecks to talk about foreign affairs? Laughing so hard that we end up falling out our chairs. Sir Trey, Sir Corey, oh what a pair. High class topics with a redneck flair. Oh yeah. Two rednecks but we're still fancy. and we gon' talk a lot. Dress real fancy, sit in our chairs, sip on our tea, putting on airs. Two rednecks, but we're still fancy, putting on airs. We might not know much about history, we don't care. We gon' get drunk and we talk about yachts. We gon' get drunk and we gon' talk a lot. Dress real fancy, sit in our chairs, sip on our tea, putting on airs. Okay, it's Team Squirrel up, Team Trey. Oh yeah, we keeping it basic. He thinks that the squirrels at Corey's mom's house are racist. And you know squirrels live in the same place for generations. So Trey, you better count your days and you better count your blessings. Cause all the squirrels that you ran over, that you think are nameless, faceless, their families are getting together and plotting on you from the attic and basement. So even though Corey is dumb, fat, and bald, he knows how to avoid drama, don't get squirrels involved. Two rednecks, but we're still fancy, putting on airs. We might not know much about history, we don't care. We gon' get drunk and we talk about yachts. We gon' get drunk and we gon' talk a lot. Dress real fancy, sit in our chairs, sip on our tea, putting on airs. Two rednecks, but we're still fancy, putting on airs. We might not know much about history, we don't care. We gon' get drunk and we talk about yachts. We gon' get drunk and we gon' talk a lot. Dress real fancy, sit in our chairs, sip on our tea.